Hello and thanks for joining me. Today we're taking a look at these Gearhead Trail King Easy Lock 2.2 bead lock wheels with Delrin rings. I was lucky a few days ago and won these off the RPP flash giveaway that they had on their Facebook page. So I was really excited to get these because these are going to go on our Project Rancho. Even though it does have wheels already, these are a much better wheel and will look better on it. Speaking of wheels, let's take a look at them, see how they really do look. There we go, nice classic timeless look, multi-spoke design. Very good looking wheel. Here's the rings to it. Both sides are identical. And what makes them nice is they only mount by a handful of screws, 6 each. These little dots along the outside are just for looks. Let's take a look here at the center part of the wheel. So see this recess right here? This is where the hub sets into. And the hub can go on either side of the wheel to adjust your offset. So of course I think I'll be going on the back side so I can have a little bit wider stance with this truck, but we will see. Speaking of the hubs, here's one of them. Nice simple hub. Oops, almost dropped it there. Nice simple hub design. Hex goes on the back. This part goes through the wheel. Mounts on there with 6 screws. And show you what I mean. There it is, mounted into that recess. And here it is on the other side. So it just kind of depends what kind of offset you're going for, where you can mount it. Now, speaking of mounting them, comes with all the hardware you'll need, and like I said, it's all the same size hardware, so there's no guesswork. So I know everybody's asking right now, how much do these weigh? Let's find out. Let's go ahead and throw them on the scale and see what their weight is. Have my scale out here. I got this scale from a thrift store. It actually says Weight Watchers underneath the RPP Hobby sticker I threw on it. Paid $4 for it. So if you need a scale, check out your local thrift stores. Maybe you'll get lucky. Center part of the wheel, 49 grams. Just throw the rings on there. 72. Throw on a hub. 76. Now let's throw on the screws too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's enough for one ring. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Enough for another ring. And now for the one to mount the hub with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oops, dropped that one. So total weight on these is right at 90 grams. And here we have the tires we're going to use. These are BF Goodrich Baja TAs KR2s. These are by Proline Racing. I had these on my Bomber for one run, and now they're going to find their way onto the Rancho. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our centerpiece of the wheel here, and we're going to push it into the middle of the tire. You'll have to stretch the tire around it just a little bit. Once you get it in there, make sure all the foam tucks back past the bead, and then the bead sets over the edge of the tire. Make sure that on both sides. It's not so important right now on the back because we're going to start with the front. But you want to try to make sure your foam is nice and centered up in there and not getting pinched anywhere. Next, we're going to take our ring and we're going to just push it into the front of the tire here, capturing the bead between the center part of the wheel and this outer ring. Try to, as you're pushing in there, to line up the screw holes. See if you can see them there. See the light through them? A couple of them there you can. You want to try to get this as straight as possible to start with. Okay. Next, just choose a hole that looks pretty well lined up. Drop a screw in it. Now about these screws. None of my MIPs would fit these because these are standard sized heads. And luckily I had this little tool. It's a 3/32 is the size of the head on this. So before you assemble these, I recommend you go out and get you a really good nut driver that has this size tip. Now here will come the hard part, is you got to try to make sure that that screw is lining up. You can kind of see down in this little gap right here to try to help you line up that hole. Get it as close as you can. And then we're going to try to get it started. You just need a couple threads to catch. You may have to wiggle the ring around a little bit to get it where it needs to be, but you just need it to start. Yep, see, I'm going to have to wiggle that ring just a little bit. See, looking at my holes, it looks like it's off just a little bit this way. There we go. Let's see if that got it. So this is always the hardest part, is getting this first screw on each ring started. There we go. Just need a couple threads in it. Make sure that you didn't pull the bead out nowhere. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go around the outside of this, putting in the bolts but not tightening them down, just enough to get a couple threads on each one of them. It's easier to do it this way to get them started than it is to go across. Another one started. And like I said, I'm just going to go all the way around there doing this. You can now lay it down once you get two of them started. That may actually make it a little bit easier on you to go all the way around the circle. Once you get them all started, then we're just going to go around and run them down till they're even with the ring. We're not trying to tighten them down yet. We're just trying to make sure everything's even. Kind of doing a crisscross star pattern here. That'll help seat things evenly. Now we are going to go around and tighten them. You do not want to over tighten these. They don't have to be just reach on them tight, just snug. Now we're going to flip the tire over and do the same thing with the back ring. Once again, make sure your foam is tucked back inside the wheel here. Mine's wanting to peek out there. It's the big foam. Show it back and get your tire seated down onto that ring, down on that little lip. Okay. Now we're going to take our ring. I'm going to try to line it up here. If you look down through, you can actually see the screws coming up through the bottom with all these extra screw holes in these. Pull this off. See right there, it has 12 screw holes. I try to line up each ring, like I'll put the front ring through this holes and the back ring through these holes. And you look down through the wheel itself and you can see the screws coming up through. So let's go ahead and drop this ring in. Try to line it up the best I can from above. Make sure my bead is still tucked nicely in there. It does not feel like it is right there. There we go. Okay, I'm going to try to start with this screw hole down here. So I'm going to go ahead and drop my screw in there. See how close she comes lining up. Oops, not very much at all. See if I can rotate this just a little bit. There we go, maybe. There we go, finally got started. Now the rest of them will be easy because I can just go around the circle and drop them in. I think what part of the problem here is this tire is a little wide and has a lot of foam in it. My foam was getting caught in the bead, between the bead of the tire and the ring, inner ring of the rim. So, just something to be aware of. Now just go ahead and put the rest of these in. Just getting them started like I did on the front. Now that they're all started, I'm just going to run them down till they pull the ring down to the rim. I'm not tightening them up yet. It's getting it closer. And now I'm going to crisscross it to make sure it's nice and even. Now we are going to go and tighten them down. So just like the front, you don't want to over tighten them because this is Delrin. Don't want to crack it or deform it. And they don't need to be ungodly tight either. You should probably check your beadlock wheels. Probably, I like to do it every couple runs, just at first to make sure they're tight, and then about every 10 runs after that. And I've never had a problem. We are done with the bead locks, and now it's time to put the center into the wheel. Put the hub in. Take our hub, drop it in, like so I'm going for the more offset here. So, line up your holes on the front, like so. Then just drop your screws in and get them started. This will be a little bit easier than the beadlock rings because there's no pressure on them. Okay, once you get one started, just go ahead and start another one anywhere you want. Now at this point, you can make your life a little bit easier and lay the tire down and then just drop the screws in and start them. I'm just going to go ahead and put one in each hole here. That way, and just go around the wheel. These right here, I'm just going snug as well right now. And then I'll crisscross pattern them to make them tight. Okay, let's tighten them down. They ordered me a tool for these, but it is not in yet. So I'm using this one today, but next time I have to take these apart or assemble another set of these, I will have the right tool. Here we go. Fully assembled tire and rim. That's all there is to it. I'm going to go ahead and assemble the other three and see how they go. They should probably all still go the same way. And after I get them assembled, I'll come back and tell you what I think. I now have all 4 bead locks mounted. Got tires covering them. They hold the bead very well. They all went together about the same. No major problems. And by the 4th one, I was getting the hang of it, and it went together just like that. Cool thing is, I actually have some extra screws left over. So it's nice there's extras in the package for in case you lose any out there on the trails. So I really like the way these look. And I'm very, very happy with them. Again, these are the Gearhead. Get this focused in here so you can see it. The Gearhead 2.2 Trail King Easy Lock Beadlock wheels with Delrin rings. So if you're looking for a good 2.2 rim, I highly recommend them. The looks are amazing, look very good. And like I said, the fit is really, really good. They're not the easiest beadlocks put together, but they're nowhere near the worst I've ever put together. I'd say if you've never put together a set of beadlocks, you can do these no problem. If you have put together any beadlocks in the past, these will be a breeze for you. Well, I thank you for watching, and I thank RPP Hobby for this giveaway. I'm really stoked that I won and amazed that I won. It really made me happy, made my day. I'm not going to lie about it. So, like I said, if you have any questions or comments, drop them down below. You can also hit us up on Facebook. Make sure you follow us on Instagram. We post a lot of stuff there that we don't post here. Link that's down below as well. And go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss any future updates. And go ahead and hit that like button. I'd really appreciate it. I thank you for watching, and until next time, happy RCing.